Hello, quack quacks. A month ago, I decided to start walking every day. And I'm one of those people to whom habits are pretty hard to create. So a routine is something I need to do very consistently in order to keep on going. So I bought myself a little planner and started making a line for every day that I walked. And I started with 3 miles a day, and after a little while, it started getting easier. But the mental side wasn't getting any easier. I was still battling with myself every morning, asking, do I really need to do this? I know I need to do this, but I really don't want to do this. And a lot of times I ended up going in the afternoon, realizing that, oh wait, the sun is setting soon, I have to go and take my walk. And 3 miles takes me about an hour. About 3 weeks in, I noticed that the calendar that was really motivating to me because I wanted to see the lines not broken was actually not doing much to me mentally anymore. And that was really surprising. So now it was just actually become routine. And having a trail that I set for myself really helped me. Also the fact that I've had something that I knew I was doing every morning. I get up, I drink my tea, and then go do this thing. So after 3 or 4 weeks, I decided to make it 5 miles. And I thought, oh heck, this is gonna be really hard. If you ran 5 miles a day, people would be really impressed with you. Walking 5 miles a day, I'm not really sure, but it's around 10,000 steps for me. And it takes me about an hour and a half. But turns out walking an hour and walking an hour and a half, aside from a little bit more pain in my feet, are not that different. So for over a week now, I've been walking more than 5 miles a day. And surprisingly, I feel great. Last year, I tried another health habit that was spin classes. So I was attending spin classes 2 to 3 times a week, and after 3 months, I did manage to go over 30 times. But I really didn't love it. So I loved the feeling of accomplishment I got after every spin session. There's nothing that you can compare to finishing off an hour of hardcore cardio class. But I didn't love the process. I didn't like showing up. I didn't like doing it. I only liked the aftermath. And while I was able to show up and do it when I created a strict schedule for myself, I knew that once I took a month off to care for a family member, I'm probably not going to come back. Surprise, that's exactly what happened. So after a month of not working out, I came back home and I just kind of was in a slump for a couple months. And I had to really think about what it is that I was going to be okay with doing every single day that wasn't really taxing. I didn't really have to go anywhere. And one thing that I do enjoy doing is walking. I can walk forever as long as my feet let me. And one of the things I really enjoy doing while walking is listening to audiobooks. So I love reading books and I like walking. And if there was a purpose to my exercise, which is to have time to read audiobooks, then it seemed like a perfect combination to me. So I didn't realize how much of a mess my hair was becoming in the wind after walking around for a while, but I'm inside now, so it should be a little better. Not really. Oh well. This is the notebook I bought off Amazon a month ago, and this is how I am keeping track of when I walk. So some people have been saying that if you start making a chain every day, then after a few days, you'll have a chain that you don't want to break. So if you don't want to break it, it's going to push you to continue the chain, which is exactly what happened for the first couple weeks, at least 2 weeks. And around the 3rd week, I started noticing that I didn't really feel the need anymore to continue the chain, or at least a chain on a book. So in the first 2 weeks, it was very motivating for me to have this physical manifestation of what I'm doing. But after 2 weeks, I realized that it's internal now, it's a habit, and I don't necessarily need a physical manifestation to keep me motivated. But I decided to keep on going, and so I walked every day since I started on the 10th, which is exactly a month ago. Then this is this month, March. I missed this day because I had gotten sick, so now I'm going to fill out Today, I figured something like walking every day, coupled with something I enjoy, like reading a book, would be relatively simple for me to start. And I am actually surprised at how quickly I was able to scale up my 3-mile walk to a 5-mile walk. And hey, after 5 miles, what's 6 miles a day, right? So I think I'm going to continue scaling up little by little. And I think I am getting faster at walking. So for the days that I am done walking, I just make a little dot, and then my chain. Winter is always hard for me, and I struggle with motivation and seasonal affective disorder, so I wasn't able to do much. And when I'm not doing much, it keeps on rolling, this not being able to do much, and then being frustrated and being upset and just feeling exhausted. And just as a little bit of backstory on why I'm walking instead of doing a lot of other gym related things is I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I can't do any sports that are high impact. And things that are low impact are things like swimming, cycling, or spin classes, and walking. And I had tried a spin class. Clearly it didn't stick. And also it's kind of expensive. Walking is free. I enjoy it, which I think is very important. And I get to enjoy my books, which is also very important. I listen to it at 2 times speed. So walking for an hour and a half means that I get through 3 hours of audio. So this really helped me out because it was getting very difficult for me to have innate motivation. And aside from all the physical aspects of my disabilities, I also have executive function disorder. So motivation, especially innate motivation, is extremely difficult for me. So this brought it from innate to external. And I think one thing that was really important for me is that I've been reading a lot of books about stuff like this, and I think it was Gretchen Rubin in one of her books, maybe Better Than Before, I'll link it below. She mentioned that, hey, it's okay to need something to motivate you. It's okay for you to not innately want to do something, and that you have to create something that will keep you to it. Even if it's like talking to someone and saying, hey, can you keep me to my word that I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week? And can you check in with me? And if that's how you feel motivated because someone else is keeping tabs on you, that's fine. You don't get any more cookie points for you self-motivating yourself to do something that you don't particularly want to do. But in the end, if you did it, you did it. So it doesn't really matter how you got to doing it, even if it means you have to hire someone to basically throw eggs at you every time you don't do what you said you're gonna do. And that was really powerful for me because as someone with executive function disorder, it's very difficult for me to motivate myself to do something or get myself to do something, especially when I am a little confused, I don't know what I should do, or I feel like there's just so many roadblocks along the way that I'm just getting overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed very easily from stuff that I think is overwhelming. So it's not logical a lot of times. It's if I had just sat down and broken it down, I would find that, hey, it's actually not that crazy difficult. But seeing this big black hole of what is this, I just get completely overwhelmed and I shut down. And something like get healthier or exercise more, it's just too big. But walk every day for a certain amount of time, that's doable, right? And if it requires a little $10 notebook from Amazon, $10 is much cheaper than a gym membership or a spin class. One spin class was $15 to $20, so this is half of one spin class. And it's gotten me a month. I've only missed 1 day of walking, and it was because I was sick. That's saying something from 0. That's saying something. If you guys are feeling like you need something to motivate you and feeling bad about it, don't stop feeling bad about needing something to motivate you. If you need to trick yourself to doing something, the important thing is that you did it, right? No one is going to be like, oh, well, you had to have your boyfriend remind you or your best friend text you to say, hey, did you go to the gym today? You know, accountability is a big thing, and a lot of us have a lot more accountability to other people than ourselves, which I'm trying to fix. It's just my personality. If I promise something to someone, they're gonna get it. If I promise something to myself, not so much. And this is actually one of the core principles of the author I mentioned earlier, Gretchen Rubin, and her Four Tendencies. I'll also link that below. It kind of tells you what kind of tendencies you have, and using the tendency that comes out of her little quizzy poo or her books, and based on her four tendencies and the one that you decide that you are, you can model your whole entire lifestyle around this so that you can get yourself to do the thing that you want to do, but to your personality. So I pulled out my paper copy of Gretchen Rubin's book. So it was called Better Than Before. She has a couple books on this kind of theory of personalities. Her whole thing is how to help you make better habits for your life so that you can live the best life. So let's see. Here are the four tendencies. As I said earlier, I'm going to link the resources down below so you can take a look yourself. But she says the four tendencies are upholder, obliger, rebel, and questioner. Upholders meet outer expectations and meets inner expectations. So these are the rock stars. They say they're going to do something. It doesn't matter if it's a promise to themselves or to other people. They're going to get it done. Obliger meets outer expectations but resists inner expectations. So they're very good at doing things that they promise other people, but when they promise to themselves, like, oh, I'm going to stop snacking, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, without an outer obligation to scaffold that, they have difficulty accomplishing it. And rebels resist outer expectations and resist inner expectations. It's probably pretty difficult to motivate themselves because they don't want to listen to other people and they don't want to listen to themselves either. And then the last one is questioner, resists outer expectations but meets inner expectations. So these people don't want to really listen to other people, but they listen to themselves. And if they promise something to themselves, they're going to do it. If they promise something to other people, maybe not so much. So after reading the book and doing the little quizzy poos, I am an obliger, which makes a lot of sense to me. So obligers meet outer expectations but struggle to meet inner expectations. They're motivated by external accountability. They wake up and think, what must I do today? Because obligers excel at meeting external demands and deadlines and go to great lengths to meet their responsibilities, they make terrific colleagues, family members, and friends. Because obligers resist inner expectations, it's difficult for them to self-motivate. Obligers depend on external accountability with consequences such as deadlines, late fees, or the fear of letting other people down. So this is exactly how I feel. If I promise something to someone, I'm gonna do it. To me, it's more the anxiety that I have to do it because someone is expecting something from me. Why I don't have the same level of anxiety with promises to myself, I don't know. But I do feel bad about it. But the difference between the action and inaction, if it's someone else, the action will happen. If it's to myself, I'm just gonna feel bad about it and feel anxious about it. So it's just not a good situation overall because I'm gonna feel crappy either way, but I'm an obliger. And I think if you are struggling with any part of your life, creating any habits or breaking any habits, that's also very difficult. Check out Gretchen Rubin's book. I'm gonna leave links below like I said earlier. But yeah, let me know what you think about the four tendencies and let me know if you have any habits that you've created and how you've done that and maybe tools and resources that's helped you do it. All right, have a great day, guys, and see you next time.